For over 200 years, the Dutch East India Company built and dispatched ships from Holland to their headquarters in Batavia, modern-day Jakarta. From there, they used smaller local vessels to purchase goods from India and China for export back to European markets, hungry for spices, silks, tea, and porcelain. Outgoing vessels, called retour ships, carried not only the goods required to support these outposts and some home comforts for the Dutch residents, but also company monies to purchase goods for the return voyages. These vessels therefore carried substantial amounts of bullion, some as coinage, such as the newly minted Mexican pillar dollars and the Mexican realen, or coins of 4 and 8 reals, and others such as bars of silver or gold. The silver bars carried were specifically cast for this trade. Made of Mexican silver, these were destined to be melted and used to make local currencies in the mints of India and Java. The only evidence we have of these bars are those found within shipwrecks. In 2004, Ken Welling, a diver and shipwreck enthusiast based in Ramsgate, Kent, was diving on the Goodwin Sands in an area he regularly visited. During the course of the dive, he began to see shapes revealed within the sands. These were silver bars, then boxes full of silver bars, and coins, both loose and within chests. Identification of the vessel followed shortly. Only one vessel carrying substantial quantities of silver bars had met her fate on the Goodwin Sands, a treacherous mobile sandbank off the southeast coast of England where so many ships have met their fate. The Rooswijk was a 145-foot vessel built in the company's shipbuilding yard in Amsterdam, specially for the India trade. At 850 tons and armed with 26 guns, she had already made one trip to the Indies when she departed on the 8th of January 1740 from Texel in the north of Holland for her second and last voyage. Another casualty sucked into the ship swallowing Goodwin Sands. Almost 300 sailors, soldiers, merchants and passengers died, and although some of the lighter cargo and contents of the stricken vessel were carried by the tides onto the shores of Ramsgate, the ship literally vanished. The weather was so bad that winter that the usual salvage attempts could not take place, and by the late spring of 1740, the ship would have been hidden deep within the Goodwins, preserving her whereabouts and contents for centuries. This was a great loss to the company, and as quickly as possible it dispatched another return ship, the Castle van Woerden, with a large consignment of company money to replace the lost treasure of the Rooswijk. In July 2005, another Dutch vessel set sail for the Goodwins, the research vessel Terschelling. Led by Rex Cowan, she carried a team of archaeologists and divers whose primary aim was to survey the structure and artifacts lying on the seabed and recover visible and delicate material. The artifactual assemblage proved without a doubt that the wreck was that of the Rooswijk. Terschelling can accommodate 16 people and is fitted out with surface-supplied diving equipment, providing both voice and visual communications between the diver and the surface for 2 divers working at once. The vessel is secured on a 4-point mooring over the site, and divers enter the water via a wet bell directly onto their workplace. This enables divers to work safely within currents of up to 1.5 knots. Diving can only occur for about 3 hours over periods of slack water twice a day due to the strength of the tides on the Goodwins. At a depth of about 24 meters, divers can work for up to 2 hours breathing an oxygen-enriched gas. Lying within the sand and shingles are the remains of the structure of a once great ship. Collapsed elements at unusual angles interspersed with complete objects such as this 2-meter-long chest. Iron guns protrude out of the seabed at opposing angles, suggesting a ship on her side. Cartridge cases are visible amongst the debris, mixed beside the broken chests revealing the silver coins within, concreted together in pillars as the sand withdrew to reveal them. Beneath collapsed deck planks, more personal objects such as this pewter chamber pot can be seen, all suggestive of the collapsed remains of the great cabin in the stern. The presence of cartridge cases and muskets suggests an area much lower, that of the constable cabin and the powder store beneath. The collapsed structure provides catchment areas where objects can survive in remarkable condition. Complete chests, each holding 50 silver ingots, raised for controlled excavation ashore. The recovery of intact chests is remarkable and previously unknown. Historically, this information is vital, as although inventories list the number of chests and what they contained, they do not provide any description of the chests themselves. Excavation of these is already providing unique physical evidence to confirm the company practices and policies. All of the chests are within a very small defined area of no more than 5 meters square. Many are concreted to groups of company muskets, each bearing the side plate of the VOC, and company swords still within their leather scabbards stored in the constable's cabin. The corroding iron of the gun barrels and swords has hardened into sand to make an impenetrable layer, but still revealing the shapes of individual objects clearly within the sand. As much as possible, large areas of this were lifted for detailed examination and controlled disassembly. The ingot chests are identical. They are all made of pine and are of specific dimensions. The manner of construction is similar. They were bound with iron bands which hinged over the top. The entire chest was then put within a canvas sack and tied, reinforced with possibly a metal tag, and then sealed with wax. The ends were fitted with handles made specifically so they cannot be moved above the horizontal position and trap the fingers. The front of the chest were fitted with an eye over which the straps located, each held with a large square iron lock. Removal of the lids reveals the 50 ingots within each chest. Each ingot carries 3 individual stamps, that of the company, VOC, the chamber, Amsterdam, A, and a small goat within a shield below. Each ingot is just over 1.95 kilos in weight, and there is evidence for the filling and sometimes re-drilling of the ends of the bar to meet the specific weight. The ingots are stacked in 5 layers of 10 bars each, positioned from back to front. Although there was no obvious padding, there is space between the ends of the bar and the chest sides for packaging. They do not seem to be packaged in any particular order. Some have their marks facing up and others down, some towards the back and some towards the front of the chest. This is just the beginning. Investigation of this shipwreck is already providing archaeologists and historians with objects that only survived because the ship was wrecked. After 264 years of being hidden within the sands, Rooswijk is just beginning to reveal her hidden treasures.